Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your AEW Dynamite post show for Wednesday, April 21st. Tonight on the show, Moxley crashes his truck, Darby retains the title, and Hangman wrestles Ricky Starks. Let's do this. Yes, what's up, everybody? I'm Dave. There's Johnny and Glenn, the AEW team, here on the Ringside Report Network every Wednesday night right after AEW Dynamite. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you click the bell so you get those notifications every time, okay? Still got the music going. Where's the music? Why is the music still going?
I thought there was music.
Yeah.
I thought I was hearing
I
it.
like the music, man.
Yeah, well, I could bring it back. You want it back? Oh!
It's a little loud.
Okay. How's that? Is that better? Is that better for you, John?
Not bad. It's very
better.
romantic.
I could just kill it, too. I have the power.
That's better.
What's up, guys? What did you all think of AEW Dynamite tonight? It was an interesting program. A lot of the mid-card taking center stage. No Kenny, no Bucks, at least not in the ring. No Moxley, no Jericho. You know, the big stars weren't wrestling tonight on Dynamite. It was a lot of the mid-card kind of taking over. It felt like a slightly better version of AEW Dark. You know, you had more stars than usual, but it felt slightly darkish. Like every match was an AEW Dark main event, you know? Nothing felt like a Dynamite main event except for the main event. Everything else felt like, this could be on AEW Dark or it could be on Dynamite tonight. Not bad. It was just, you know, not a lot of star power, not a lot of pop to the show tonight. I watched the show. I liked it. It was a fine wrestling show, but I wasn't blown away. I don't come away from AEW Dynamite tonight saying, whoa, my God, what a great wrestling show. It was, you know, fine. It was fine. You know, solid, 4, 5 out of 10. What did you guys think? Johnny?
I thought this was a very good wrestling show tonight, actually. I thought the wrestling was really good. The matches-wise was pretty good. Maybe it didn't have the star power, but the wrestling was very good. I thought the main event was great. I thought Trent versus Penta, if that was a match of the night, it was very close. That was very good. And I thought the women's match was fantastic. I thought the women's match should have been the main event. That was a great match. Glenn, you disagree?
Glenn, what do you think?
Yeah, do I ever? The women's match?
What was wrong with the women's match?
Get him.
Oh, I hated it, man. It was a snore-fest, man. But come on, Johnny. To me, anyways, I didn't. What did you like that was so good about it? I mean, I would have liked it better if the title changed. Then I would have loved it. But
well, of course,
then it would have been something a little bit.
That would have been the best.
It would have been something. It would have been something a little shocking, at least. But the match itself was, you know, I don't know. I watch a lot of the women's wrestling on NXT, and you know, like I think I hold the women's wrestling at a lot higher level than what they're doing at AEW. Man, it's kind of brutal.
Yeah,
like it's hard to watch. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but like it definitely wasn't match of the night.
I didn't think it was match of the night. John, did you think Ty Conti and Shida was your match of the night? That's your favorite thing you saw tonight?
Yeah, because there was a lot more interest in this match than the other matches. This match actually had more build than anything else that you saw. And I thought there was a lot of interesting moves they pulled off in this match. I liked what the Ty did with that stomp off the top. And when Shida did that whole backbreaker thing on the top rope, that looked devastating.
God. That was horrible. That was a horrifying move. What a maneuver. She called it the witches something. What's his name? Excalibur. He's always got the names of the moves. And he had the name for that move, and he called it something. What did he call it? The witch's shot, where she dropped her back first on the turnbuckle. That was devastating. I thought Conti was hurt because when she went out to the outside, taking the bump off that, which is like crazy bump, crazy just move altogether, she's talking a lot, right? When she was talking after taking such a devastating bump, I thought, uh-oh. She's hurt and trying to communicate she was hurt. You thought the same thing, right? When she was doing all that talking to the ref and to Shida, after taking that devastating move, I thought, oh, Ty is hurt. But she continued the match. She seemed fine.
Well, I just can relate in that kind of situation because I could imagine taking that kind of bump. That's not easy to take. And the way she like landed on that looked really rough. And I was impressed by the fact that they would pull off something like that in this kind of match. Like they kind of went above and beyond. Like you were asking for something a little extra special. I thought we got that in this match.
I thought the match was really good. I thought it was a very solid wrestling match. I think that they did a very good job in the ring. I thought the matches tonight were good, were solid. I didn't see anything that I would consider a match of the year candidate. You know, I think that we've seen some match of the year quality stuff on Dynamite over the past few months. That Britt Baker Thunder Rosa thing was pretty nuts. We've seen some incredible matches on Dynamite, and tonight I think we just saw some good matches. I wasn't blown away with anything tonight. I thought everything was quite good. I wasn't disappointed. I didn't think anything sucked outright tonight, but I wasn't blown away with the show. Like I said off the top, you know, it didn't have a lot of that sizzle that AEW is known for. Shaq didn't wrestle on the show. Mike Tyson wasn't there. They didn't have a big return or a big debut. You know, we're conditioned now as AEW fans to expect something big. A big episode of Dynamite to me is when Sting debuts, Matt Hardy shows up. You know, like a big episode of Dynamite to me is big, and big things happen, and there's a surprise, there's a shock. This was a standard episode of Dynamite, which was good. I think it was a very complete wrestling show, but there was no sizzle on this card, right? There was no title change, no return, no surprise, no anything, no big angle that gets you hyped for next week, really, either. I don't think they really set anything up or did anything tonight to further AEW and the interest in that product. I think they did a good wrestling show, good job all around, but, you know, it wasn't a sexy show. It wasn't a show where crazy things happened, you know? Angelo.
It was one of the worst shows of the year.
Oh, you think so? One of the worst of the year?
Yeah. Like,
I thought the matches were good. Angelo, my man, he says match of the night was Jungle Boy Darby Allin for the TNT title. I agree 100%. I agree 100% with Angelo. I think that match was great. That was my match of the night as well. By the way, shout out to Angelo, a Ringside Report team member. Don't forget, he's part of the team. He's a member of the YouTube channel. His name is in green on the chat. He's a super chat leader. He's Angelo, my main man.
I was giving him a run for his money there last.
You were trying.
Show.
You can't.
Yeah, I know. He comes
Angelo.
in right at the end, man.
Right
He
at the end.
He knew I was getting out of the bath or something. I forget what I was doing. And he came right in at the end.
Angelo and Doug Hepburn on the chat as well. Shout out to Doug, member of the team. Angelo and Doug were having a super chat battle on Monday night that kept the show going. I was like done, and then they started super chatting each other and like battling it out. And I was like, well, I guess I have to keep the show going now, guys. That was fun. That was a fun time Monday night after Raw with Angelo and Doug kind of one-upping each other. That was funny. Craig Paquette, shout out to you, my man, member of the team. Thank you for becoming a member. Don't forget to become a member of the Ringside Report Network, and you can also go to donate.ringsidereport.net and merch.ringsidereport.net, where you can buy a cup like I have. It's a Ringside Report cup. I'm drinking my Sprite out of it tonight. Sprite, Cornet style. You like that, Johnny?
Well, that's your
Johnny
diet,
and Glen
though.
cups coming soon, man. Johnny and Glen cups.
Yeah, maybe.
You and me, buddy. We're gonna do the Bucks pose. What do you think? Huh? On both
Not
sides
the
of the
Bucks
cups.
pose. We can come up with something better than that.
You guys-
Do something
Well, yeah,
better.
okay.
No, I think it would be
oil up with
good.
something.
Because if you guys did the Bucks pose, you would really show up the Young Bucks, because I think you both have bigger biceps than each Buck, right? I mean,
17-inch.
I was more thinking about
man.
John Glenn. No offense,
Oh,
but
sorry, sorry.
John's kind of
Sorry,
the
John.
bodybuilder of the group. I mean, you're a jiu-jitsu man, but John, like, he's
I've
sculpted.
been known to lift a few weights. I
Yeah,
lift
I know,
things,
but
heavy
he's
things and put them down.
I mean,
I
John
do it all the time.
makes his money taking his
I
shirt
would never
off.
put down an athlete.
All right. I'm saying you're both
17 inches.
You're both great athletes. You both have big arms. All right.
Young bucks. Let's do it, Johnny. We're making mugs.
I'm done putting you guys over. That's enough.
We're gonna call it the Young Cups. We'll make them Young Cups.
The Young Cucks. The Young Cucks? That's what you're going to call yourselves?
We're both older than the Bucks. Yeah,
strange.
Sure.
You're really taking this Jim Cornette gimmick further than I am.
It's a cup.
The Young
Cups. And we'll be like, okay, fine. Well, fair enough. We could be.
I don't think he's connecting. You're only connecting the dots. I don't think he is.
No. I trust me. I'm connecting the dots. I know all about the old cucks and a few holds. You know what I mean? Are you guys connecting now? Maybe I'm not connecting.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're gonna move on.
Cuck hold.
I don't know.
No?
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't know why you're putting guys in holds. That's a different life you're leading.
Well, cuck and then hold. I was trying to be aloof.
You don't have to try. You have succeeded, my friend.
All right, fair enough.
Ricky Starks and Hangman Page. Like, the night started out really well. I thought that match was very good, Ricky and Hangman. Starks landed on his feet from a German, hit an amazing Liger bomb. Like, the power where he lifted Hangman back up and then, boom, drops him with that power bomb. Crazy stuff from Ricky Starks. The fall-away slam that Hangman hit off the top rope, that was some nasty stuff. I didn't love the finish, the submission move, the crossface kind of ankle wrench submission thing that Hangman did, but it was
the
fine.
One-arm bully choke.
Yeah, it was like more. It was more kind of working the ankle, and then you saw Starks. He was limping around a bit during the match, and then later on he reemerged on Dynamite, and he was limping too. So he was really selling the leg there. I didn't love the finish submission. Like, I would have liked Hangman to just hit that buckshot lariat 1, 2, 3, beat Starks in the middle of the ring. The submission was a little kind of a dud finish, but I thought the match itself was very, very good. Hangman and Ricky Starks. They talked about Ricky Starks being a future champion in AEW. I think he will be either TNT champion or the world champion. Hangman, I think, will probably be both. I think Hangman holds every title. Hangman might be the first ever Grand Slam, Triple Crown winner, or whatever you want to call it in AEW. I think Hangman winds up winning the TNT title and the AEW World Championship in the next 5 years. He's already been tag team champion. The guy is the man. He's the number one contender, number one ranked guy. He should face Kenny for the title at some point, you would figure. He beats Ricky Starks tonight. Great match. I mean, I love both those guys. I'm a huge fan of Hangman and Ricky Starks. I think they're both tremendous wrestlers. John, I know you like this one. You have to.
Well, yeah, it was a good match. It's just, I think the reason for that finish, though, I think Ricky Starks actually got hurt, though, on the dive. Like, I don't think he was just selling. I think he actually hurt his ankle, so I think they actually went to a different finish from what they were supposed to.
You think he really got hurt there?
He rolled it, yeah.
Yeah, I think he really got hurt.
Well, that sucks. I hope
see how he landed. He landed backwards with his leg kind of trapped behind him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he rolled his ankle.
Well, I'm surprised
he landed on his head.
Why come out for the run-in then? What's that? Did he land on his head?
Like, when you said he landed on his feet, didn't he land on his head? Like, he kind of flipped him, and then he landed on his head, it looked like, and then he kind of rolled to his feet.
I thought he landed
I thought
on
he
his
broke
feet.
his neck for a second there. Like, was I the only one who caught that?
Yeah, I don't know. John, what do you think? Did I miss something?
I didn't catch that. I thought it was on his head, on his feet, but could be wrong. I have to watch it over again, but I was hearing reports that he got hurt. Legit.
Well, I hope he's all right because he's one of my favorite guys in AEW. I really like Ricky Starks. I think in the ring, he's one of the most complete guys that they have. I hope he's all right. And if he's not all right, why did he come back out? Right? Like, if he's legitimately hurt, why send him out to just stand there next to Will Hobbs after Christian had beat him? Like, Christian has a match with Will Hobbs. Hobbs gets most of the over on offense for pretty much all of it. Christian winds up hitting the kill switch. 1, 2, 3 beats Hobbs. Ricky Starks then limps out after the match to check on Hobbs and just kind of stare at Christian. If Starks is really hurt, was that necessary?
Well, I think it was just to foreshadow the fact that, Ricky Starks is next for Christian. And, he's hurt, but he can still go out there, right? So they assume, I imagine, that he'll be good to go for the next Dynamite that they do when they have that match.
I hope that they do have that match. Mako wants to know why change the finish, do the buckshot. I agree with that. I mean, why would you change the finish even if Starks is hurt? Just do the buckshot. To me, the buckshot is the best finish that you can do for Hangman Page matches. I think that's just the way you finish the matches.
He tried it, though. Like, he tried and he ducked and then he speared him, right?
Yeah, but he should hit it. Like, that should be the finish to the match. You finish with the buckshot. You know, you get that move over. It's a more impactful finish for Hangman, even if Starks got hurt in the match. Like, who cares? Give him the buckshot.
I think he just sprained his ankle or something, honestly.
Even if he did, like, who cares? I don't see that as a reason
thought he
to
landed
change.
on his head hard.
Yeah.
like from that German suplex, he literally lands on his head and then hits his feet. Like, even heard JR go like, whoa, and then he's like, oh, he landed on his feet. And I was like, did he? Like, he took a real big shot to the head.
I gotta watch it again.
You watch it when you see it. You'll see it. Yeah.
I'll watch it again. But I don't know. It was weird. If he's actually hurt, why do the run in later on? He didn't even save Will Hobbs. He just kind of stood there to console him after a loss, which is a weird thing for a heel to do. Anyways, the Elite,
they were barred from ringside during the match.
Okay, yeah, but still, if he's legitimately hurt, why show up and console Will Hobbs after the match? Why?
That's just to sell for the future.
All right. The Elite have a trailer and Brandon Cutler filming them. I like the outfits on the Bucks tonight. Quite an outfit on Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson as well. The little shirt with the little shorts combo, real heelish. Like, you see a guy dressed like that, and you can't help but hate him with the white loafers as well. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson are really taking their fashions to a new level. I love the Young Bucks fashion. Last week with the Dior ones, and then tonight with the just dickhead outfits. They just look like dicks, and I love it.
Was he wearing like Gucci or Prada or something like that? I've seen that pattern.
It looked
before.
like a Gucci print, I think, like a whole Gucci outfit that Nick Jackson was wearing. I'm not sure if it was Gucci or whatever. It was probably fake, but it looked cool, and it looked just so douchey. You know, like, you see a guy dressed like that in real life, you're like, you are greasy as hell. And you know they smell
like he's on a yacht in Miami.
Strong. The Axe body spray is just, killing your nose as they walk by. It's just like, oh.
We call that Laval, my friend. That's Laval.
Well, not everybody in Laval, but there are some people.
My friends.
All right. I'm not going to disparage anybody. Just to say that those people
I'm sure we have Laval watchers here.
Those people exist in Laval and LaSalle.
I don't know.
Everywhere. They exist everywhere.
Laval.
I've seen them everywhere. AJ
Laval
has
Wi-Fi
friends.
isn't very strong, Johnny.
What? Is it really not strong?
I don't know. I'm just fucking around. I got a lot of friends in there. I love you, Laval.
All right. Shout out to Laval. My dad's from Laval.
Big L.
The big LG was there tonight. Trent wrestled Pentagon. I thought that match was very good as well. Like, very good matches tonight. Hangman and Ricky Starks was good. Pentagon and Trent was good. Sheeta and Conti was good. QT and Billy Gunn happened. Christian and Hobbs was all right. Darby and Jungle Boy was very good. Like, they had matches that were mostly good and some matches that just took place. But, not bad. Not bad wrestling tonight. Penta and Trent, I thought, did really well. Penta hit a pile driver on the apron on Penta that looked nasty. It looked a little weird, too. Like, Penta was kind of holding the ropes. Like, the way he fell on the pile driver was a little odd. Alex Abrahantes in Penta's corner as a heel manager, and he got involved in the match. He's no longer the worst part of being the Elite. Alex Abrahantes now on AEW television on Dynamite, and he told Trent that he sucks and that his friends suck and his mama sucks, and then Alex got chased out of the ring by Trent, and Orange Cassidy, who was in Trent's corner, went to get Alex Abrahantes, but Pentagon super kicked him, which allowed Alex to hit the microphone in Trent's head, and then Penta hit a package pile driver for the 1-2-3 on Trent. So Alex Abrahantes, with the referee distracted, hits Trent with a microphone that allows Pentagon to hit his package pile driver for the win on Trent. I thought that match was quite good. Johnny, I know you really liked seeing Alex Abrahantes get involved.
Yeah, well, to me, he's that little jerk, announcer that you want to see get his comeuppance, and we haven't seen it yet, so they're kind of building that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when he finally actually gets a good beating. Whoever's going to give him that. That's the question, though. It's probably going to be the best friends, more than likely. It's probably going to be Orange Cassidy. He's probably just going to wait till the pay-per-view, I think, to do it.
Makes sense. You know, it's fine. Alex Abrahantes, why is he the manager now? And, I don't understand. Is he part of Death Triangle? Where does Pac fit into all of this? Is Alex Abrahantes also Pac's manager or what? I don't really understand where he came from. I get it. He's there with Penta now, but I'm not really sure how he fits into the whole mix of the Death Triangle. Triangle de la Muerte.
He's mainly just he's mainly just Penta's manager.
Okay, just Penta.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
All right.
I mean, they're all together in a sense, they all work together, but he's mainly just there for Penta.
Mm-hmm. And they are continuing this feud because Penta will wrestle Orange Cassidy next week on Dynamite. So, yeah, I think it is leading towards a best friends versus maybe Death Triangle match, right? Chuck, Trent, Orange versus Pac, Phoenix, and Penta. Pac and Phoenix just not even on the show tonight. Nowhere to be seen. Is Pac in the United States even, or what? When's the last time we saw him?
That's a good question.
Right? It's been a while.
He wrestled on Dark this past week.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And he wrestled, I think, on Dynamite. I think he was in that tag title match last week.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. With Phoenix against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a forgettable match. I didn't love it. All right.
It's 30 minutes long. It's hard to forget.
Well, I've forgotten it already, John. Okay, I watched so much wrestling that I can't give a shit about a 30-minute match with a bunch of flips with really no impact that I didn't really like. Okay?
I liked it.
Yeah, you liked it. I didn't like it.
I like the flippy flippies.
Too flippy. Too acrobatic. It's like, if I want to watch gymnastics, I watch gymnastics. If I want to watch pro wrestling, you better give me some professional wrestling. Somebody better get hit in the face. I was
one of those guys in WCW. I liked watching the Lucha guys. I liked watching those guys.
Yeah, they were good.
The cruiserweights.
They were good, but it was different, man. It was different back then. You still had to have some impact in your moves. People like to say, oh, Rey Fenix, he's the new Rey Mysterio. No, he fucking isn't. Rey Mysterio was very good. Rey Fenix is pretty good. It's different.
I think Rey Fenix could be the champ.
Oh,
I've never seen him have. I've never seen him have a bad match.
I'll quit watching.
I've never seen him have. Oh, come on! I've never seen him have a bad match.
I would be mad.
He's a good worker, man. He's a really good worker. He
Too flippy.
Yeah, he's good.
Too flippy. Doesn't speak English. Forget about it.
No, he does speak English.
Yeah, well, I never heard him talk. He can't cut a promo, as far as I know. And it's way too flippy. Way too flippy. Has no impact. I don't believe him as a world champion. He's fun to watch, but, to me, when I saw Rey, when I first saw Rey, it was, otherworldly. It was how is that man doing that shit? When I see Phoenix, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's got good footwork. He's, athletic. He's got good balance. He's agile, but, yeah. I don't see Rey Fenix as doing shit that I haven't seen from a bunch of guys in the past. Is Rey Fenix better than, 2005 AJ Styles in Impact? I don't think he is. I don't think so. I don't think he's anywhere near.
You know what I think he's near at least.
I don't think he's close. I don't think he's close to AJ or Rey or any of the great high flyers that we have seen in the past. I don't even think he's as good as Psychosis. Who?
What was the kid's name?
I think he's better than Red.
Amazing Red? No way.
Amazing Red. Yeah.
No, Red was far more innovative. And John, you can say he's better than Red, but Red was doing this shit. Red was doing this stuff before anybody else. He's more of an innovator, and Rey is doing a lot of the stuff that he's seen done before. That's what I see with Rey Fenix. I mean, he's impressive. He does cool shit. Don't get me wrong. It's just like there's not enough impact behind it. There's not enough violence. It's not that believable for me. It's not my style. Okay? He can move, but like, I like Pentagon better. Pentagon versus Trent was really good. Pentagon's got more of a ground-based style. He hits harder, you know? He seems more intimidating. If Pentagon were the world champion, I'd have no problem with that. I like Pentagon way more than Rey Fenix. Way more. He's got a way better look. His in-ring style is far more violent. When he hits you with the package pile driver, I mean, you feel that shit. Pentagon is the type of lucha brother I like. That's the type of luchador I like. Yeah, you flip a lot, but you do some fucking heavy-handed shit, too. You better be an ass kicker.
Tonight, though.
You didn't? I thought it was cool. You look cool tonight.
Nah, I don't know. It was a little too much.
I love Penta. Penta, to me, like, he can do no wrong. I'm a big fan of his.
I like them both, but I mean, I don't know.
I feel like Rey Fenix...
Penta seems to stumble moves a little bit more than Rey, I find.
Look, neither of them are...
a little bit slower.
Neither of them are Bret Hart, but I'm just saying, if I were to pick, I'd pick Penta. Well, nobody. Jim Ross interviewed The Pinnacle. I don't know. I'm not sure. MJF did a lot of the talking here. He said his scarf is old. He got a new silk scarf. He says Tully is at home writing plays for Blood and Guts. Does that mean he's got coronavirus or what? Where's Tully? Wardlow talks about Jericho's immortal promo. They kept talking about how Jericho cut a promo last week. I'm not a fan of wrestlers on a wrestling show talking about cutting promos. It's like a little too inside. Because what you're basically saying is, Jericho, last week you did an interview to promote our match that is happening in, a month. Talked about how great Jericho's promo supposedly was last week. And it was pretty great. It was certainly better than MJF's promo tonight or Jericho's promo tonight. I did not love this promo by MJF. Wardlow talked for a bit. They let Wardlow talk for some reason. He said Jericho was nervous about talking about him last week. That's why he was stumbling over his words. MJF says Jericho stands in front of B's to look like an A, and he wrestles A's to not look like a B. I thought that was a good line. MJF says when Jericho was 25, he was curtain jerking on Worldwide, while he is main eventing now as a 25-year-old in AEW. FTR and Spears didn't talk. MJF had a couple lines, but kind of been there and done that with him. I was not blown away with anything MJF said tonight about Jericho. He didn't really say anything that cutting or MJF-like. I thought Jericho nailed him way more last week than MJF came back with this week. I think Jericho is still in the lead in the promo battle. And, when you're going for one of these big matches and you want to go shot for shot, I remember John Cena and The Rock when they would go back and forth. Like, one week Cena would come out and say some scathing shit, and you'd be like, oh, my God. And then Dwayne would come out, and he would say crazy shit about Cena, and you're like, what? How is he going to top that? And then Cena the next week would say some wild shit. That's how you do it. That's how you go back and forth. I feel like Jericho shot everything he had last week. All his bullets are gone. MJF got killed. He has nothing left to say. He said a couple things, really had nothing. Jericho had to do another promo this week, and it's like, I got fucking nothing left. See you at Blood and Guts, which is like in May. I don't know. I was not overwhelmed with any promos tonight. I think the wrestling was much better than the talking. Johnny, what'd you think about MJF's promo?
Well, a lot of it was him just defending himself against Jericho's promo. And that was fine. Like, I thought it was a fine promo. I mean, he's had better promos, but I had no problem with it. I think the problem was the fact that he deferred some of that promo, so I think it kind of took away some of the momentum of his promo a bit. So it just kind of got lost. And you had JR there, and it didn't really add anything. Usually JR, when you have a sit-down with JR, it's supposed to actually increase the promo, make it actually seem more meaningful, and it really didn't do that. So it's just the situation of it, where it's like you put them in that situation, you expect this is going to be one of the best promos they do, and it just turns out to be just another promo, which is not bad, but it's nothing like out of the ordinary.
Wasn't like Jericho's promo last week, right? Which was serious, so some good shots there. This one was just kind of like it happened, you know? I don't know. Glenn, what'd you think about MJF tonight?
I think he cut the best promo of the night. I mean, he was better than Jericho tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, the whole show, like I told you, the show to me was kind of bland all the way through, except for the first match and the main event was pretty good, but like the rest of it was just kind of filler. But to me, anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I think he flows really well, man, when he talks. Like he got really passionate about it, and he was dropping, like when he was naming off names and stuff. Like he doesn't stumble at all when he does his promos. Like it's very fluid. He flows. Like I thought it was all right. Like it's not as good as Jericho's from the week before, for sure, 2 weeks before, whatever it was. But
yeah,
like I think he did really well considering he was the only one talking tonight. I mean, Wardlow talked for about 2 seconds, and and then he took over the entire thing. So
yeah,
I think he did really well.
But honestly, to me, MJF, like his whole thing is he's a talker. And he's now going up in this big thing. He's starting this new group. He's the leader of this new group. And he's supposed to talk. And Jericho cuts his scathing promo on him last week. And he comes back with this dud. And it was a dud.
Oh, I wouldn't call it a dud. I mean,
it wasn't spectacular. Like, to me, if you're going to come out, you have to hit Jericho with some real shots. You have to nail him. And it's got to be a little bit more. There's got to be a little more substance to it. It was okay.
The curtain jerker, and he wasn't doing anything at 25, and he's beating him. So like he kind of like got him pretty good. Like
wrestling in WCW when you're 25 is not so bad. It's pretty good.
Well, worldwide, who's watching worldwide?
Well, WCW worldwide, I watched that. What are you talking about? Worldwide,
not many
Saturday
people
night. Oh, I was. I loved it. Okay, I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. God damn it. Anyways, I don't know.
I was watching Thunder.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
Well, that's different. That's one of the main shows.
MJF promo tonight, I didn't love it. We'll see. Hopefully Blood and Guts is good. Then we had Shida beating Tai Conti, hits the spinning knee to the face. I thought the match was good. Like we said earlier, that witch's shot looked totally nasty. Tai hit her like Tai KO move that looked terrible, by the way. Awful.
Well, Shida didn't really bump good for that whatsoever.
No, it looked really bad. Knee to the face by Shida gets the win over Conti to retain the AEW Women's Championship. And then Britt Baker shows up, and she shows the rankings on the big screen, and she is now the #1 ranked challenger for Shida. Here comes DMD Britt Baker. So Baker versus Shida. It's going to happen. She's got to get the belt, right, Glenn? Like, come on, man. Let's go. It's Britt time.
I hope so. I mean, Jesus, they better. God, they need it.
Yeah. Shida's
how long
good.
Can they drag this poor other girl along? I still can't remember her name. Ashida? What's her name?
Hikaru Shida.
Hikaru Shida. Like, she's not a bad wrestler, but she's definitely not a great wrestler either. Like, she's got no personality whatsoever. She's a good kind of she's a good grinder, to have in the women's division. Definitely not a champion. I mean, holy shit.
That's it. She's solid in the ring, but there's not a lot of flash there. She is one of their better in-ring wrestlers, though. She's very, very good. She's very, very solid. But as far as character and gimmick and promo, there's not much there.
Horrible.
Yeah, and when you want to build this women's division, they haven't had a star champion yet. Who have their champions been? Nyla Rose, Riho, and now Shida. They haven't had a star champion. They haven't had a champion that can cut a promo. So Britt is going to help a lot, and I hope she becomes a champion. Go Britt. I think the whole team here is rooting for Britt Baker to become the next AEW Women's Champion. Johnny, I know you were disappointed that Ty didn't win tonight. But yeah, Britt had a huge pop tonight. Huge pop tonight. I told you Ty wasn't going to win. It's ridiculous. Ty Conti. NXT reject is going to come in and be the AEW Women's Champion.
You also told us
outta
Jake
here.
Paul wasn't going to win either. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, that was a
Well, let's not go
logical.
there.
Let's not talk about
That's
that.
the wrong show.
I also
Mackenzie
told
lock
you
of the night.
Jessica
Mackenzie
Penne
lock
was
of the
going to
night.
win plus 230, and she came through. So how about that? Okay.
There you go.
I mean, I am never watching another Triller show ever in my life. Fuck
Never.
Triller.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm never
I paid
watching
for that.
That was horrible.
So pissed off.
Horrible. Worst
Well,
promotion ever.
They own Fight now, so
They
like
own
you're gonna
who?
see a lot more actually.
They own Fight
The,
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good for them.
So
I am never watching another Triller show ever. I am actively rooting for that company to go under. I hope that they fail. I hope they cease to be a promotion. It is a black eye on the fight game. They are a complete disgrace of a promotion. I preferred, any MMA or pro wrestling promotion
It
or
was
whatever
horrible.
over Triller. I hate Triller. They make me watch Justin Bieber before I watch a fucking fight with a YouTube guy fighting an ex-fighter who's fat and fighting in a weight division that's like 20 pounds over what he should be fighting in a sport that he has no business being in. Now we know what Jake Paul is, and he is a mediocre 190-pound boxer who will probably beat other mediocre 190-pound boxers, possibly. But
I still
anybody
think it's
legitimately
fixed, man.
good.
I think
No,
a lot
I don't
of the
think-
fights on that card were fixed. Well, not fixed to the point where he took.
I don't know.
Well, I don't think he was paid to win. That's for sure. Christ,
Yeah.
he took a shot for sure, but he wasn't defending. He wasn't punching. He wasn't doing anything.
Oh,
and he
he's a
wasn't in
shit
shape
boxer,
either.
too. No, he looks shit. He's a bad
Oh, yeah.
boxer, and we all know this, and I don't think he
There's
was
a lot of
taking
ways
it.
to throw a fight.
Yeah, I don't think
There's
he
a
was
lot of
taking
ways.
it that seriously, but I think that, this fucking Jake Paul is such a pussy. Like, all he does is fucking challenge people that are 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds lighter than him. Like, this bitch-ass motherfucker, he's like 190 pounds, right? He challenged Ben Askren. What did Ben Askren fight at, 170? They make this fight at 190. You notice he only challenges 155ers and shit? This guy challenges 155ers and 170s. He doesn't want to fight anybody his size.
He challenged Daniel Cormier today. He called out Daniel Cormier. I swear to God. He
DC
said,
would
"I'll beat the
fucking
shit out of
end him. And you see what
Well,
DC
we'll see
said?
what happens.
DC said- Oh, come on, bro.
he called him out.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. DC knocked out Bigfoot Silva. DC has knockouts with his hands.
I'm just saying that could be the next one. That's what they're kind
Well-
of aiming for. Because if DC accepts, I don't know if DC would actually, or
Jake
if Dana
Paul-
would even let DC.
First
do
of
it,
all,
but
DC has said that Jake Paul is not worth fighting him because he is not worthy of stepping into the ring with a great champion like Daniel Cormier. 1. 2, Jake Paul is not worth DC cutting weight back to whatever, 205, because what's the fight going to be at? Jake Paul's not fucking going up in weight. You want to make it a 225? Make it a 230-pound fight, Jake Paul. Let's see what you can do at 230 against Daniel Cormier. Fucking make it a heavyweight fight and see what happens. See if DC doesn't end your fucking life. That shit I'd watch. That's the only way I'd watch, but I'm only tuning in at the end, and I'm streaming it illegally because I don't want Triller to get any of my fucking money. Okay, I'm stealing that show, and I'm only watching at the end just
Straight
so I
up,
can see
straight up.
DC murder Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And if Jake Paul doesn't die, I want my money back. And I'm not
I
even
think they
paying
gave us
for
a
it,
discount,
so I'm
eh?
going to demand more. I'm just going to demand Triller give me money. I actually
I only
want
got
some money
charged-
from
I
Triller
only
now.
got charged $30, so I don't know. I think they gave a discount where they cut.
They
it in half
should
or
for that
something.
fucking shit show. What a
I
stupid,
think they did, yeah.
stupid fucking
Oh, it was
promotion.
horrible.
I hate
Horrible.
Triller. I hate Jake Paul now more than ever, and I'd like to see him get hurt very, very badly. And I'm not tuning into any fight with him and Tyron Woodley because he probably beats Tyron Woodley. Like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see him in a competitive fight. I want to see him fight Francis Ngannou in a ring surrounded by tigers. So when Francis
really
knocks
triggered
him
him here.
unconscious, he falls out of the ring and gets eaten alive by tigers. That's what I want to see. Jake Paul in a literal death match where he dies at the end. Okay? Death match. Give
I
me
think
an
everybody wants to see that.
exploding
Even
barbed
YouTubers
wire
hate him.
death
Everybody
match.
hates him.
Kenny and Moxley versus Jake Paul, and they actually kill him at the end. And then when the pyro's supposed to go off, it actually does, and it's like a bomb, and Jake Paul has exploded to death, okay? It's the only shit I want to see. Fuck Jake Paul. He's such a fucking dick. And he's a pussy, and he's challenging people that are fucking smaller than him in a sport that they don't fucking practice. Hey, Jake Paul, why don't you go fight
Daniel Cormier.
Go fight Ben Askren in MMA and see how that fucking goes for you. Wouldn't you love to see that guy just held down and just beaten and bloodied?
Well, fucking AJ Agazarm beat the shit out of him like 2 years ago. And
let's go.
One of my old teammates there. Yeah.
Go fight some MMA and see how that
YouTube.
Fucking goes for you, Jake Paul.
I think that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You can
and
see
he
it on
gets
YouTube.
smashed again today. Of course.
Yeah.
Because he's not a real fighter. He is a dumbass who's and people are buying into it. Anyways, I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't like him. I think Miro would beat his ass. Miro is annoyed that Kip has disappeared, and now he says if you have a slimy Impact guy or an emo face paint daddy and you're a champion, I'm coming after you. The only question is which champion Miro beats first. Johnny, you like Miro calling Sting an emo face paint daddy? Emo face paint daddy!
It's stupid, but whatever. He can say what he wants to say.
Insane Clown Posse song or something.
Is it an Insane Clown Posse song, John? You're the number one ICP fan on the show.
I've never heard them talk about emos, but okay.
Emo face paint possibly. Daddy, walking through the street. Do daddy. Violent J blah blah. Wicked clowns. Huh? That's a song.
Fago, bro.
There you go.
Poor Johnny.
Possibly.
He's like, this is what us juggalos have to go through daily.
That's right. That's what you got to deal with. Juggalo life.
Goddamn juggalos.
Anyways, Miro, do you think he becomes a champion, or is he just talking that shit?
Oh, yeah, he'll be champion one day. I mean, I don't know about today, though, because I feel like you kind of mentioned it, like him and Kip, I think they're probably going to have a feud or wrestle. So I think that's going to happen before he becomes a champion, I think.
Could it be that he is the one to beat Darby? I'm wondering who beats Darby. Could it be Miro? I think it could be Miro.
Could be him, could be Archer. There's a number of possibilities.
I don't think it'll be Archer. Inner Circle cut their promo. Chris Jericho talks about Blood and Guts being the most violent match ever in AEW. By God, I hope so. Jake Hager started throwing things, and I couldn't tell what the hell he was doing. Turns out it was straws. And he said Pinnacle will be eating their meat through a straw when they're done with them. Did he jump the queue on the throwing of the straws? Because I was like, what's he throwing? And then he's like, these are straws, by the way. And I was like, you threw them all on the ground, Jake. What are you doing? It was a very strange little moment there.
Jericho said something about breaking their jaw or wiring it shut or something before he started talking. So
yeah, but Hager was just throwing straws. No, it was awkward as hell.
Yeah,
and then Santana talk. Santana was good. Santana's little promo was good, saying Pinnacle's doing bitch moves. And Jericho says MJF sounds like he's reciting lines given to him from his high school drama teacher. And yeah. And then Jericho says he's written a song about my jerk-off friend MJF, and he sang the song, and it was, not great. And then next week they're going to have a parlay between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. So they're going to have a both team in-ring promo, I think, to talk about their match. I think this is going to be, the week before, because the match is in 2 weeks on the May 5th episode of Dynamite. You like Jericho's song tonight with a parlay next week? Parlay? Jericho's just
our song.
Jericho's like grasping at straws now. You know what I mean? Like, take some of those straws from Hager, because that's what you're doing. You are just desperately trying to find some sort. We're going to do a sing-along. We're going to go to Vegas. We're going to do a parlay. Like, we're going to do a press conference. We're going to do a debate. Like, how many gimmick promos has Jericho done since joining Inner Circle? Right? Like, he's just doing all the shit that he pitched to Raw and was not allowed to do, and now he's doing it on AEW. Why?
You say not allowed. I feel like he got away with a lot of things he wanted to do. The Festival of Friendship, I mean, that happened.
Yeah, but that's the I
in
think there's a lot
WWE and
more.
AEW when you think about it.
But there's a lot more that he wants to do. I mean, come on. Jericho, how many themed promos has he done in AEW? I mean, compared to WWE, right? I mean, he's done a couple in WWE, but AEW, it's like every month there's a themed Jericho promo. I just listed off a bunch of them. They did the Vegas trip. They did the sing-along with MJF. They did a debate. They did a press conference. Like, they've done so many of these. And now next week, the parlay. I mean, he's running out of ideas. I don't want to see the parlay.
I think this was
I kind of want to see it.
Clip in a while. Jericho's good at this stuff. I love hearing him talk and do his little skits and everything. I think they're hilarious. Except for tonight, kind of sucked. That song sucked.
Yeah, it sucked.
He did. I thought there was going to be more. He did like 3 verses.
You say Jericho and MJF are good at this, but they both suck tonight. They both suck.
I
Both
agree.
their promos
I think the show sucked tonight. I didn't like the show tonight, but
no.
I just mean I love Jericho's skits when he does. What was that thing that they did? The Brady thing that they used to do. What was that called? Release the hounds
what was
and
that?
The dogs would go. Oh, that was amazing. I love that thing. What was
the Inner
something
Circle bunch? Something.
No, they called themselves the something bunch or whatever. But I used to love that, man. And then Release the Hounds and his little dogs are going around. Those were hilarious, man. That was super funny. Let's do the what was his dance there? Let's do the whatchamacallit. I even have a video on my IG thing of doing it. What do you call it? The flim flam. Let's do the flim flam.
Ugh.
Remember the flim flam?
The bubbly bunch is what they called it.
Yeah, the bubbly bunch. I wish they would bring that back. I love that stuff. It was hilarious. Very innovative.
All right, so they'll do a parlay next week. John, what's going to happen on the parlay?
Well, in the end, it's just going to break down to a brawl, right? Because I think this is the last week before the match, right? So
yeah,
that's what's going to happen, and that's what people want to see, I think.
All right, well, you guys want to see it. I don't, but hey, that's me. QT Marshall beat Billy Gunn. Was this the first time they started calling him Billy Gunn? They said Billy Gunn on TV. WWE letting him call himself Billy Gunn now? Because before it was like Billy and Austin Gunn, right? His sons could be called Gunn,
right,
but he couldn't because he was Billy Gunn, and that's a WWE name. But apparently he's Billy Gunn. Got his name back.
Well, they let Cody be Cody Rhodes now, so I guess, they're like, well, Billy can be just Billy Gunn. Is it that big of a deal at this point? Not really.
No, I don't think so. QT
How
Marshall.
How did he look, though? He looked fantastic, man.
I mean, he always looks good. Yeah, well, he was fired from the...
For his age, he's in his 50s.
He was fired from the WWE for being on steroids, too, so there might be a reason why he looks so good.
That was my favorite part of the night. I got to be honest with you. I love watching Billy Gunn wrestle. He didn't do too bad. It was okay. I mean, it was a shit match, but like...
That was your favorite part of the night? How could that be your favorite part of the night?
I'm nostalgic for it. I used to love
nostalgia. I could see that.
And everything. Yeah. You know, like he was one of my favorite wrestlers coming up back then. Like he was very entertaining with the Road Dogg. They were awesome, man. The New Age Outlaws, man.
Yeah, they were one of the best acts for their time.
Yeah,
in 1998,
they're one of the best tag teams of all time.
Yeah, but it's 2021, and this was a one-on-one match with QT Marshall. Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado brawled with Billy's sons during the match. Anthony Ogogo hit Billy with a punch to the gut while the ref's back was turned. Anthony Ogogo is the big heater in this group. Helps QT win with a punch to Billy. QT then hit the diamond cutter for the 1-2-3. QT then pulled out a wood chair. Like, this chair was so obviously not a normal chair that they use. First of all, it's wood. It looks like a garden chair, some dainty little chair. Like, why was there a wood chair there? I mean, I know why. It was a gimmick chair to hit Nick Camarado over the head with, but as soon as they pulled out that wood chair, I was like, since when do we have wood chairs? There's like a million metal folding chairs around the ring all over the place that are always used in wrestling, and tonight we have a wood chair? Where did this wooden folding chair come from? Anyways, QT pulled out the chair. He was going to hit Billy with it. And then Dustin Rhodes showed up and made the save. He had a bull rope because, yeah, sure. And he attacked his former tag team partner, QT. And then he took the wooden chair and he hit Nick Comoroto in the head with it. And, of course, it broke over his head. And Nick Comoroto just stood there not selling it, looking like a monster. And he looked like a monster, but the wood chair was really bad. Like, you never see one of those chairs before it comes into play. Obviously, it was gimmicked. Obviously, it was fake. I didn't like that wood chair. Like, don't bring in a weapon that's clearly, like, out of the ordinary, and then you hit somebody in the head with it, and it's supposed to be devastating. It doesn't look devastating. Looks like that thing was made out of cardboard. John, what do you think about the wooden chair?
Well, if they're going to hit someone over the head with a chair, I'd rather it be a wooden chair than a metal chair. So I'm fine with that in that sense. And it served its purpose, right? Because it was supposed to break. And he was supposed to no-sell it. It's harder with a metal chair. I mean, if you're going to bash him over the head with a metal chair, good chance it's really going to hurt him. So, given the situation, I'm okay with it.
No. No.
To me, it was just like the guitar, like when the old honky-tonk
but
guitars.
It's just so fake.
Jared guitars. Yeah, but I mean, it was...
When
the guitars were fake too, but they were able to put powder on the inside so it like explode and made it look a little bit better. But
like when you're hitting people with chairs all the time and they don't look like that, and then you bring out this weird looking chair and it's like, here's a fake weapon, everybody. What kind of fake shit are we gonna do with this? Oh, I'm gonna smash this guy in the head with it. And it was obviously brought in so that you could smack Nick Comoroto in the head with it and it would break and he wouldn't die. But it's just all fake. It's just all fake. Oh, here's this fake chair that we never use. I wonder what we're going to do with this. Fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like
dumb.
the show that much tonight. It was kind of...
here's more dumb shit that happened. The Elite are in their trailer, and Don Callis is talking about the assembly of talent and how great they all are. It's the Bucks and Kenny and Nakazawa and Gallows and Anderson and Brandon Cutler, and they're all there. And Matt Jackson says they're the ones that made the hot-selling shirt that's world famous, and they created All Elite Wrestling, and it's all about them, the Elite. And then Nick Jackson goes, yeah, it's not called All Moxley and Kingston Wrestling. And then Kenny Omega starts talking, but then there's honking outside of the trailer in the parking lot. And the honking goes on. And they're like, guys, it's live TV. We need to get rid of this honking. And I'm sitting at home like, gee, I wonder who's honking. Who do you think could be honking while you guys are cutting a promo about Moxley and Eddie Kingston? So stupid. Who do you think is honking? It's obviously Moxley. Eventually, after a long time of the guys just wondering, who's doing all that honking? We really need to get that honking to stop. And nobody goes outside to check on what's going on, right? No one. They just talk about it for like 20 minutes. They're in there. Oh, there's a lot of honking out there. We should probably stop that honking. Who's honking? We need to talk here, guys. This is live TV. They're just discussing the honking forever. While we're sitting there like, yeah, it's Jon Moxley. You should probably go get him or something. And then we cut to outside where Moxley, of course, is in a pickup truck with Eddie Kingston, and they ram the trailer. I think it was a Dodge Ram, too. So they rammed it with the Ram. Might have been an F-150. I don't know. And then after they hit the trailer with the pickup truck, they go into the trailer, and all of the Elite are gone.
Yeah, they didn't even explain where they went. Were they being live from another trailer? Or did they escape? Or they never even said anything.
It didn't make any sense.
Defend the bodies.
No, they're not dead. They're not dead, John. They went in and nobody was there. They went in, they're like, oh, nobody's here. Where the hell did they go? And then Moxley's like, and then he like smashes the window. And Eddie Kingston and Moxley are doing promos over each other. I don't know if you noticed that, but like Eddie Kingston's talking and Moxley's talking, and you can't understand what anybody's saying because they're just talking over each other. It was a mess of a promo, and it made no sense because Moxley hits the trailer, and then they're all disappeared. Where did they go? Where did they go? One moment, they're all like, gee, I wonder who's doing all that honking. The next moment, their trailer gets hit by a truck, and somehow, during all of this, they have transported somewhere else? Like, what? What is this show? What is this? And Moxley and Kingston are like, oh, they're not there. I guess, whatever. We'll get them next time. That was it. That's what they did on the show tonight. It was so dumb. Like, how did the Elite escape? How did they escape? Jump in, guys. Anybody got an answer for me? How did they escape?
I have none.
John, you got an answer?
You have to find out next week,
Oh,
or maybe
fuck
they'll
off.
show on their YouTube show.
Find out next week, you bastard.
Tune in next week when you find out when.
Yeah, well,
where
I've been
they
tuning
went.
in for weeks and weeks, and I still haven't found out where fucking Shaq is.
You have to wait for Shaq. That's long-term booking.
Shout out to Rob Kloos, signing up to become a member once again. Thank you, Rob. 2 months in a row. If you're a member for life. Become a member of the team. Keep us going. Keep these shows going. Become a member of the channel. Because it's really hard for me to watch this fucking nonsensical bullshit. So if I'm going to keep watching this shit, become a member. Give me a reason to continue to watch this stuff. Let me know that you want to see me talk about this stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to stop talking about this stuff because it's so fucking stupid. Christian beat Will Hobbs. Bleh. What did you think of the match? It was all right.
I liked it. Like,
Yeah.
I like how it's like Christian kind of guiding a guy who's new. He's very limited, but Christian tried to get the most out of him. Like, for Hobbs, that's the experience of a lifetime right there that he got.
Yep.
Live television against like one of the best wrestlers of all time. That's an amazing experience he got there.
Yeah, great for Will Hobbs. He loses in the end, but he got a ton of offense in. Were you surprised he was like all over Christian? Christian really didn't get much of his shit in there.
Well, Christian's a great storyteller, and I think he just realized it's a better story that he's like always trying to overcome him, and then it means more when he finally wins in the end.
I think him and Ricky Starks is going to be good down the road. Christian's going to be wrestling. Nobody next week. I thought he was wrestling next week, but he's not. It's Brian Cage that's wrestling Hangman Page next week. Christian Cage's son, Brian. He'll be wrestling Hangman next week. Are they ever going to get to that? Because, like, Christian's going through the Taz team now. He beat Will Hobbs. He seems like he's got a thing going on with Ricky Starks. At some point, it's going to be Christian Cage versus Brian Cage. The Cage family crashes into each other. The Cage family rumble.
Well, one of the Pages going to wrestle each other. I mean, they have a couple of wrestlers now with the same names, but
Oh, yeah.
whatever. Doesn't really matter so much. I mean, just the way it happens. Like, I think it's
Ethan
kind of cool that
Page
AEW.
and Hangman Page, Diamond Dallas Page's kids?
You know, I could see Hangman being DDP's kid. I don't know. Ethan doesn't look so much. Maybe a distant cousin.
Hangman does kind of look like he could be DDP's son.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Except DDP's real last name is Falkenberg, so it doesn't work.
Is
Yeah.
it really? Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
his name is Paige
Falkenberg.
Falkenberg. That's his real name. Jade
Really?
Cargill, who I think that's her real name. Is that her real name? Is Jade Cargill her real name? I think so. It's a pretty good name. Yeah, it's her real name. 28 years
That's
old.
not something you make. It doesn't sound like a made-up name. You know, like
I
it's,
don't know.
How do you make up Cargill?
Cargill, I mean, they make
Jade,
up all
maybe,
sorts of
yeah,
weird.
but not Cargill. I mean,
I don't know. It's a pretty good name. It's a good wrestling name, Jade Cargill. I don't know. I like it. And she does a promo about every manager in AEW wanting to sign her. And Matt Hardy's like, yes, I would sign her. Ah. And Vicky Guerrero's like, excuse
say it like
me.
that.
I know. Whatever. Who cares? I'd sign her for the right price. Oh, big money Matt. Vicky Guerrero's like, I'd sign her. I wish Jade Cargill would be on my team. And then Jade's like, but I don't need a manager. But if someone is going to sign me, they better offer me a hell of a deal. What a weird promo. What
Yeah,
a
it was pretty
bizarre
stupid.
story. Jade Cargill needs a manager, but she doesn't want one. But everybody in AEW wants to sign her. The 2 managers that are in AEW actively signing people say, yes, we would like to sign her. What the hell was that? That was awful.
Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah,
Women
Matt Hardy.
empowerment. You
They're
really
like,
fit in.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, sure, Jade Cargill. All the managers want to sign her. Well, here's Vicky. Yes, I'd like to sign her. Here's Matt Hardy. Yeah, me too. What about you, Tully Blanchard? Nope. What about you, Arn Anderson? Who's Jade
Pass.
Cargill? No, thank you. You know, like, they didn't really get to all the other managers. Isn't Sting a manager? Sting's like, fuck Jade Cargill. I don't want to sign her.
He's busy.
He's busy with Darby. Darby's his only client. What about Taz?
Turtle boy.
Like Taz, Taz is like trying to sign Christian. Did they ask Taz if he wanted to sign Jade Cargill? How come when Jade Cargill's like, every manager wants to sign me, they show Matt Hardy and Vicky Guerrero. They don't show anybody else. Taz is actively trying to add people to his group. They didn't even ask Taz. Hey Taz, you want Jade Cargill? No. Like
He's
what?
Too busy with Hook.
Right.
I think he had his in-ring debut today. Didn't Hook actually do something in the ring tonight?
I mean, he didn't
He was
wrestle.
stomping away.
He was around.
Bad kicks.
He took
Yeah,
his hoodie
exactly.
off.
But I think that's the first time he's ever done anything in the ring. No.
Notice he's in a tank
No,
now.
he's
He
done
used
a
to be in
couple
a
things
hoodie.
on the outside.
Yeah, he's done a few
Oh, yeah,
things.
okay. But in the ring, that's the first time he's been in the ring.
No, he attacked
Yeah, I
Sting at
guess.
one point. No, he choked Sting, and Sting hit him with a baseball
That's
bat.
true. He did choke Sting, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, he's been around. But he's showing more of his physique now. He's getting pretty jacked, is Hook. I mean, not Brian Cage jacked, but, he's looking bigger. But Jade Cargill, weird story. So I guess her deal is there's going to be managers trying to sign her, and she will maybe get a manager at some point. Is there somebody in AEW that you would like to see manage Jade Cargill? Like, they have enough managers, and they really didn't ask many of them. Only Matt Hardy and Vicky Guerrero. You could add Jake the Snake Roberts there. You could add Tully. You could add Arn. You could have had Sting. You could have had Taz. You could have had Don Callis. Like, any number of managers that exist in AEW, there are plenty. But only Matt Hardy and Vicky Guerrero seem to care enough to do a little bit in Jade's promo, even though Jade says all the managers in AEW want to sign her. If all the managers in AEW wanted to sign her, couldn't she get more than 2 of the managers to agree to that fact in her promo? Didn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey, I'm just trying to make sense out of this stupid wrestling show. I
She'd be
just
good
like
with the
Jade
Elite.
Cargill.
I think
Huh?
she'd be pretty good with the Elite.
I think she would too. Imagine Jade Cargill. Like, they need a woman in that group. Imagine Jade Cargill with the Bucks and Kenny and the Good Brothers. I think Jade Cargill and the Good Brothers would make a hell of a team.
Yeah.
Don Callis talking about Jade Cargill. I'm into that.
Or even with the Inner Circle or something. I mean,
Or the Pinnacle.
those factions kind of need a woman. Like the other factions all have kind of women floating around in there, so they need to add one eventually. I was thinking about that tonight, that the Inner Circle needs some kind of a... And they were talking about that they were adding somebody a couple of weeks ago or something like that, so you never know. Maybe they'll put a woman.
She's a
in
heel,
there, so.
though. And they're newly turned babyface faction. I would stick her with a heel group.
They're kind of walking the line. They're giving the finger and all that other shit, so, like...
Yeah. I don't know. Angelo says she said she's on her own. Yeah, but she also said, I'd have a manager if it's a good offer. She's like, I don't need a manager, but I'll take one. It was a weird promo, right? I mean, it didn't really make a lot of sense. And then we had the main event, Darby Allin beating Jungle Boy, hitting the Last Supper, nice little roll-up move on Jungle Boy to get the pinfall and retain the TNT title. Darby hit the coffin drop on the ring apron. That was nasty. Luchasaurus kind of helped Jungle Boy get back to his feet after that and beat the 10 count to not get counted out. And he just stood there, and Jungle just kind of used him to pick himself up, and then Lucha just kind of helped Jungle back into the ring. He really didn't interfere much. Sting got super pissed, though, and started punching Luchasaurus for it. Was that an overreaction from Sting? Like, it was a little
Gave
weird.
him an arm
Not at
wrap.
all.
You gave him that old school arm wrap where you try to break the arm. It's like that self-defense move where you go around and try to get that arm trapped arm bar.
Classic move.
And then that was ridiculous. Man.
And then
That
they
was-
brawled to the
it was
backstage,
horrible.
Sting and Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Johnny, you thought that was an apropos reaction from Sting? I thought it was a bit of an overreaction. Like, Luchasaurus just kind of stood there and let Jungle Boy climb him to stand to his feet and get back in the ring. And Sting was like, fuck that, I'm punching you, Luchasaurus. It was like, whoa, Sting, whoa, man, take it easy.
No, that's a DQ. Like, I'd be pissed if I was Sting. Like, I was pissed watching it. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you interfered in a match right there. You're not supposed to get involved, and he got involved. Like, Sting had every right to beat the crap out of him. I wish he actually put a better beating on him.
I don't know about that. I think he overreacted, but I think we are setting up some sort of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus Sting and Darby match, right?
I don't know about that.
No?
Neither do I. I don't think that's going to happen either.
I thought
I think it was just
might be
I think it
fun.
was silly that they did that, man. Honestly, I think it took away from the whole match. Like it was kind of dumb. Like, and then they had the Luchasaurus sticking out his tongue at him while Sting is hitting him. Like, oh, those don't hurt, and then they just kind of clinch up and they walk through the doorway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it was a great match, and it kind of great match, but I mean, it was a good match, and it kind of really put a cheese factor on it to me. I thought it was kind of silly.
That's it.
Unnecessary.
Seeing the same reaction on the chat, Captain Jobber says the main event was really good, minus the random Sting brawl for no reason.
I agree.
Can't disagree with that. There you go. Bon Kiki says, great stream, Dave. Respect from Chi-Town, Chicago. Thank you. I love Chicago.
Bless up.
I love
Who doesn't?
Chicago.
Great pizza.
Oh, my God. So good. Have a slice.
Fantastic, yeah.
Go get a Lou Malnati's pizza for me, Bon Kiki.
Or those
Chat-
dip subs that they got there. What is it called? The dip.
I don't know.
Oh man, what are they called? Roast dip beef. It's very good.
Shout out to Lou
Incredible.
Malnati's pizza. So fucking good. Oh, my God. Crazy good. Chicago is a beautiful town. Real nice.
A little
So-
dangerous too, but yeah.
Everywhere's dangerous.
A little bit.
Just need to know where to look. Things
That's
are
right,
dangerous everywhere. I mean,
That's right.
certain parts of Chicago are super dangerous, but hey. What are you going to do? Darby beats Jungle Boy, and then after the match, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page hit the ring and attack Darby and Jungle. Page hit Darby with the Razor's Edge, which was pretty damn nasty. And then Lance Archer showed up and made the save, but got low blowed and attacked. And then Sting had to show up to save Archer from the attack. And he gets a baseball bat, and then Scorpio and Page just kind of, they bail. They're willing to fight Lance Archer, but a 62-year-old man with a baseball bat, fuck that. They're out of here. Right?
Damn right.
What do you mean, damn right?
Goddamn right, son.
Oh.
Well, they know Sting's the icon, so they got to run away from that.
Yeah,
They don't want none of that.
I guess so. Lance Archer,
Who
the
do you got-
Murder Hawk
who-
Monster, whatever.
Speaking of baseball, there, Dave. What do you got on your shirt there? Is that Dawson? Who's on there
It's Tim Raines.
on your shirt? Oh, it's Tim Raines.
Yeah.
Damn it! I was trying to see who it was. Is it number 10? No, 16.
30.
30. Fuck. All right. That's why I
30
thought it was
rock.
Dawson. I was like, why would he be wearing a Dawson shirt? It's pretty
Why not?
random. I
He
thought
was
you were
a
just
great
huge
Expo,
fan
too.
of the Expos. Yeah, of course he was. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is a Hall of Fame Tim Raines shirt. I rep it because I rep the Expos forever. I'm a Montreal guy, and I love the Expos, and I miss them terribly. And I don't give a shit about the Canadians, and I think they're playing tonight, right? I think they're winning.
2-1. Wait, I'm watching it right now. I've been watching the whole time. When you see my eyes do this,
Eh.
it's because I'm looking at the game.
I don't know. I don't need to see guys skating around. I'd rather see guys just hitting each other constantly, and that's why I watch fight sports.
There was a fight. Stahl fought tonight, I think.
Yeah, but it's
It was
not
good
a fight.
with Stahl.
It's
I
not a
think it was
fight
Stahl.
to
Maybe it
me
was
if it
Perry.
ends as soon as they hit the ground.
True.
To me, a fight really begins when you hit the ground, right? Glenn, as a jiu-jitsu man,
That's
you
right.
understand what I'm talking about. The fight
where it
really
ends.
begins. The fight truly begins once you hit the ground. But in
right.
hockey, like, they hit the ground, they're like, okay, that's it, no more fighting. It's like, no. Let them do some jiu-jitsu. Let's see you play guard with skates. I think it would add a whole new element to a guard game.
I'll disagree there. I had a lot of hockey fights, man. I had a lot of hockey fights. And hockey fights are a whole different beast, man. I'm telling you, when you put on skates, I saw a while ago, John Danaher was trying to do videos on how to do hockey fights and the grips on the sleeves and how to whip people around. I'm like, yeah, put on a pair of skates, Danaher.
Yeah.
And see how that works for you. It's completely different, man.
Yeah, fighting on skates. Fighting on skates, it's like a weird rock'em sock'em type of fight, right? It's just like it's like half judo, half rock'em sock'em robots. That's what I see hockey.
There's a lot of skill to it too, man. The way you grip, the cross grip on the shoulder, depending what you're going with, the little jabs with the shirt, which was my favorite. Give him a little couple of shots.
They're just not the most aesthetically pleasing fights. Like, I watch a lot of fights, and to me, hockey fights, it's just like, not a lot of shit. Like, you don't see a hockey fight where a guy gets cracked and knocked unconscious with one punch. Like, that doesn't really happen. Does it?
It can happen. You don't watch the
Go watch Laval play.
Well, that's not NHL level, right? That's kind of what they do, right? Like, certain kind of lower level hockey guys, I know there's more fighting in that because that's what people pay to see. But, like, in the NHL, I don't really see a lot of one-punch knockouts. But I don't really watch hockey fights anyways. But just the majority of the hockey fights I see two guys kind of gripping at each other's shirts, tugging and pulling, and then throwing a few punches, and then one guy goes down, and then the refs jump in, and that's it. Like, there's not a lot of action in hockey fights as opposed to an MMA fight when there tends to be a lot more action and violence.
Well, for sure, yeah. There's more dynamics to it too.
Yeah.
There's a great judo throw though. I don't know if you've seen the highlight of that on YouTube. The guy who does the judo throw
in hockey,
in the hockey fight. Yeah, he just launched him. He grabs him
like
over the
NHL,
shoulder.
or is he just like some MMA fighter who's playing like,
I don't know if it was
like
NHL.
level 3 hockey in Russia type of thing, you know?
No, I think it was like a juniors game, but like it was, juniors is still pretty high level. That's like the level just before, right? When you're going, but
I have no idea.
Where you're trying to go, but yeah, it's a hell of a throw, man. There's some great hockey fights out there.
It's probably
watch the documentary, The Chiefs.
My favorite
Chiefs back.
My favorite sport that's half sport, half fighting is this Russian rugby basketball. Have you seen this? Like wrestling basketball? It's amazing. It's basketball, but you can wrestle and fight. It's basically half wrestling, jiu-jitsu, half basketball.
Like what you used to do with your brother when you were kids.
Exactly. Except it's 5-on-5. If the guy has the ball, you can tackle him, take him down, tap him out, whatever. And then it's also basketball.
Tap him out? Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you tap him out. It's crazy. Like, you get YouTube. Like, I saw Khabib. It's a real sport in Russia. I saw Khabib and his team doing it just, like, for fun. And I was like, is this a real sport, or is this just, like, some shit guys do for fun? Turns out it's a real sport. Like, basketball rugby, I think they call it. It's nuts. That's the sport for me. I would play that shit all day. Because I like basketball, but I'm pretty short. But I'm good at fighting, so, it all evens out.
Scrappy.
Yeah, I'm scrappy. Hangman Page against Brian Cage next week on Dynamite. The Inner Circle versus Pinnacle parlay session will also take place. Penta El Cero Miedo taking on Orange Cassidy. Penelope Ford goes one-on-one with Chris Statlander. And the Young Bucks versus the Sydal brothers in a non-title match. And Billy Gunn, Dustin Rhodes, and Lee Johnson take on QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado. So a lot of big matches set for Dynamite next week. My match of the night tonight was the Darby Jungle Boy main event. And I'm going to give this episode of Dynamite a 5 on 10. Johnny, match of the night, what are you giving this show on 10?
Yeah, go with the women's match on 10. I think give it a 7.
Ooh, pretty high rating. Glenn, what do you think?
Wow. For me, well, match of the night, I'll give it, the Darby match for sure, and I'm like a 4 out of 10. I was really, I don't know if it's the snow outside or whatever got me today, but I was just really not entertained.
Yeah, it wasn't a like an entertainment show. It was very much a pro wrestling based show, and Johnny is more old school wrestling. And I'm kind of in the middle. I like wrestling, but I also like to be entertained. I also like some spice, you know, and it wasn't very spicy tonight. And all their promos, like, to me, if you're going to have some promos, they better be good. And I don't think any of the promos were that good tonight. So, good matches.
Only one Canadian Destroyer tonight. Only one from
Only
Penta.
one.
Only one. You need more. I need more flippies for me to give you a higher rating. At least 3 Canadian Destroyers.
You like all the flips. I like, you know, just some flips. Some flips. All right. We are done. I am done. It's over. All right. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 8 p.m., to give you the UFC 261 preview. A big week here on the Ringside Report Network. We'll be going live Saturday night for a UFC 261 watch-along. Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman in the main event. Glenn, you got a lock of the night for that card for me? Usman?
I'll go through it, man. I gotta. It's not often I give the lock of the nights, by the way. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So, like, I got to go through it. I got to study it. I just had a feeling that Jake Paul was going to win that because it looked like a debacle coming up. So before I give a lock of the night, I really have to.
All right.
I don't throw those things around like,
Well, do some research and come back to me for UFC 261. Maybe you have some picks. I will definitely give you some picks tomorrow night, some winners. It's looking like some pretty basic stuff, though. Valentina Shivchenko, whenever she fights, it's kind of like, yeah, she's going to win. I don't really see her losing at all for any reason.
Who's she fighting?
Ever. Jessica Andrade. She's going to beat the shit out of her.
Oh, she's going to kill her, yeah.
It's going to be so easy. So easy.
I don't know what the line is on that, but yeah.
No, she's a pretty big favorite. It's like not really worth it unless you combine her with like a few other people, you know.
Yeah.
She's not really worth it to bet on, but like, you know, if you've got a ton of money and you just want to make a little bit more, Valentina Shevchenko is as sure as it comes. Valentina.
You could add it to your parlay.
Kamaru.
Your parlay a little bit.
Yeah, you want to do a Valentina Kamaru parlay, okay, but, you know, they're both huge favorites. Like, Kamaru beat Masvidal less than a year ago, and they're fighting again. Why? Why?
Because of what he said at the end of the fight.
Who? Masvidal?
Yeah.
Because he said, oh, if I had a full camp, I'd beat him or whatever? I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody believe that?
Yeah.
Well, someone did because they booked a fight.
I don't believe it. I've seen Masvidal fight too many times. I know what he brings to the table. And I know that Kamaru Usman might be the greatest welterweight of all time. What?
True.
What? Yeah, I said it. George St. Pierre is great.
I'm not arguing.
George St. Pierre is great, but like I'm just shocked that I said it. I'm shocking myself. But the more that Usman dominates and the more like he continues this win streak and the run on top, he's given George a run for his money as the greatest welterweight of all time. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. George
had
great.
A lot of close fights too, where he was rocking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, what was the one with, you know, like he makes comebacks almost all the time in his fights. You're like, oh shit, like this could be the one where he's gonna lose. Oh fuck, and then he comes back through it, and you know, like even Diaz was really kind of close.
Yeah.
What was the name of the other guy? Condit. Condit was fucking close.
Almost got knocked out in the fourth round.
Yes.
Kick to the head. Yeah,
Huge,
the air out of the bell
I think
center.
Hendricks is closer.
Hendricks was close too. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Hendricks, I think he lost. I gotta be honest.
A lot of people
with
thought he
you
lost.
know?
No, George won.
That first round is the biggest debate.
1-3-5 GSP. He won the first, the third, and the fifth. He lost the second and the fourth, quite obviously, but the first, the third, and the fifth were very close. And I feel that he won all those rounds. And you know, it's a game of inches, and I think he just barely squeaked it out.
I had given 3 rounds to Hendricks. I was shocked.
It was close. It was very close. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people thought Hendricks did way more damage in that fight for sure. But yeah, you're right. George had some close fights. He had a lot of fights that went to decision, obviously. And if you look at Usman and what he's doing on top as the champion, he's dominating and he's finishing people too. You know, he finished Kobe Covington. He just finished Gilbert Burns, smashed Gilbert Burns, like fucking annihilated that man. So you know, it's interesting. I think as Kamaru continues this run, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how history, how he leaves it. He's defended the title 3 times. I think George defended it like 10 though, right? George defended it a shit ton. Like he had close fights, but George had a fucking run. But he also had a couple losses. So, hey, Usman's fighting Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. We'll break it all down tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on Ringside Report MMA. Friday night, Johnny and I will be back for SmackDown post-show Wrestling Uncensored right after SmackDown. Friday night at 10 p.m. And then, of course, the Ringside Report Network brings you UFC 261, the live watch-along, Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Jason Pete, Angelo Contagonis, the members of the team, Rob Cluse, Craig Paquette, Doug Hepburn. So many members checking in here tonight, and everybody else watching. We do appreciate you. Bon Kiki out in Queequeg.
Yes,
Kiki,
Bon
Queequeg, I don't know, out in Chicago. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody watching. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you becoming members. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net.